What's happening, troops? Welcome back to another video here on the SharpDiv YouTube channel. Now in this video today we are going to be rating Rangers' summer transfers from this kind of weird window that we've had to go through, extended into October of course. I'm changing up the audio for this one, as you can see the wee lav mic. So let me know in the comments which one you prefer. If you are new around here, if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated as we push on to 14,000 subscribers. That's decent, isn't it? What do you think about that, mate? It's bloody brilliant. Subscribe. Before we get into rating some of the transfers that have came in to Rangers, I've got to take my hat off, if I had one on, to the Rangers board and Steven Gerrard, who's had a fabulous window. I feel like they've strengthened in a number of areas, and a big criticism last year of Rangers was the squad depth. Now it seems like they've got that, which is absolutely class. Firstly, we'll touch on the departures. Jamie Murphy to Hibs. Now Jamie Murphy's a player that came into Rangers at a time where he had good form in his career. He was at Brighton, but he kind of fell out of the team, but he was still at, a Premier League side when he came to Rangers, and when he did come, he done alright. He actually looked decent, but he was part of a team that took way too many scalpings, that underachieved way too much, and he didn't really get the time that he needed to flourish at Rangers. When Steven Gerrard came in, I think he was a starter. He played in the first Europa League qualifying game, and then he done his ACL at Kemar. Another reason to get rid of these dumb plastic pitches, because that, for me, set his Rangers career back tenfold, and he just couldn't get back after that. Worked really hard to get himself fit in the first place, but by the time that he was ready and firing to go, Rangers had progressed that much that he was not going to be part of the plans. The next two, of course, are in loan deals, but it is one of those ones where it seems like they are off, and that's Ross McCrory, who for me 100% is off. I'm not quite sure on Doherty yet, but the both of them don't look like they're going to have a future at Rangers. Do you know, I'm sad about both of them going, I'm not going to lie, because I really like Ross McCrory. I think on his day, defensively in that CDM role, nobody can touch him. That there's too many other parts of his game that I think Gerrard doesn't like. Greg Doherty, on the other hand, as well last season, gave everything to try and be a Rangers player. He got loaned out to Hibs, so he's away to Hull, and he's actually had a really good start. The same as Ross McCrory and Jamie Murphy, really. They've went away and they're doing really well. Now into the transfers. Let's start off with our new striker. We'll obviously be signed a couple, but this guy was kind of the marquee signing of the window. We signed him for 4.5 million, and it is Kemar Roofe. Not Camera, not Kamara, Kemar. Alright, Clive, so don't get that mixed up the same as you got Camera and Camara mixed up. Jeez, I was so glad that he noticed, to be quite honest, because that was annoying me in the Galatasaray game. So yeah, we signed Kemar Roofe from Anderlecht. He'd fell out the team through injury, and he came to Rangers, and so far he's been quite injury prone. I think he's had a couple of injuries so far. When he first got here, he was behind everybody else. He was trying to kind of catch up, and when he got into the team in front of Morelos, he didn't set the world alight. He's not had amazing performances, but what I like about that is that he's scoring goals. Throughout his full career so far, he hasn't really been that guy that's like a Morelos, do you know what I mean? That you're expecting to score 30 goals a season for Rangers. And I even said in a previous video, if he can come in and score 15 to 20 and Kenty's scoring and the other guys are scoring, then it will be all good. But we just need to get him back on that part, and for that reason I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I think it's a very exciting signing, a lot of prospect. For Leeds, he showed that he can be the man, that he can come in and he can do absolute bits. But so far he's been in the injury bed a couple of times, he's had a couple of poor performances, he's missed some big opportunities. I think he's going to come good though, which is why I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Obviously let me know in the comment section below what you think. The next guy we will speak about is Ianis. Hagi, not set the world alight just yet so far this season, but spoiler alert, I think he's the best out the lot. Out of all the signings we've made so far, I think he's got the most promise. Everybody seems to forget his age as well. Still a very young player, still a lot to learn, and I think he is getting better slowly but surely. You can just tell he's a player. You see the way that he brings the ball into him, just the way he receives that ball. Left foot, right foot, can go either way, can hit set pieces, can hit corners. Unbelievable talent in my opinion. I'm scoring him a 9 out of 10. You probably wouldn't score him a 9 out of 10 for his performances on average every single week so far this season, but just for the sheer potential that this guy has got, and also for his track record that he showed us last season and glimpses this season. he is going to be a player for Glasgow Rangers. So far he has been getting played in the right wing position. Me personally, I think the 10 is his best position, but with the way that Rangers play, there's so much rotation, he'll find himself in that 10 spot numerous times throughout the game, like he did versus Galatasaray, where he slotted it through to Scotty Arfield to get the opening goal. And if we can get him in between midfield and defence more often, I think he's got that killer pass to break down defences. We've seen it time and time again so far, and not really a lot of games that he's played for the club, to be quite honest. We've seen it, it's there, the proof is in the pudding. He scores goals, he gets assists, and I think he's very different from any other player that Rangers have got, just because that final pass. Maybe Scotty Arfield's got that as well in the final third, but his is more of a wee flick round the corner, whereas Ianis Hagi is scanning, he knows what's happening on the football part, and he's got great vision to find who he wants to find. The amount of goals that our strikers are going to get from this guy playing is going to be frightening. Rangers also signed a left back cover, and I'm pretty sure he can play centre half as well, in Calvin Bassey. Now I think this is an absolute steal. We've signed him from Leicester on a free transfer. So far the guy has not looked out of place. He's behind Borna Barisic, so he's not the starting left back for Rangers, but when needed, when he's came in, he's been unbelievable. He's also got an eye for goal. I heard at the weekend that he's modelled his career on Marcelo, and yes, it does have a long way to go from that, but you can tell he wants to get forward, he wants to get in the box, he wants to get on the end of crosses. He's going to improve going forward, definitely. His deliveries will probably need to get better, and I'm sure they will, to fit in with Rangers' style of play. I'm going to give him an 8, because as I said, in his performances so far, he's been solid, he's been exactly what we've needed, he's been an improvement on guys that we've had at left back previously, and he looks like he's got a lot of potential. I really like this guy. So there you go, it's an 8 for you, Big Bassey. The next guy we're going to speak about is probably the one that has most struggled so far in his time at Rangers. It's Cedric Itten. We signed him 2.7 million from St Gallen and scored a lot of goals in the Swiss League last year. He's played really well for his national team, an international player, but so far at Rangers, up until recently, he was struggling. So if that was a few weeks ago, I'd have probably scored him lower. But because his performance versus Motherwell, and then he came on versus Galatasaray and he did no too bad as well, I'm giving him a 7, because the 2 goals that he showed versus Motherwell showed he's got technical ability, banging at top corner, and he also showed that he's got instinctive goal scoring tendencies. Yes, what a wee phrase that is for you. Just the wee tap in, I preferred that goal to the belter from outside the box, because that's what we're going to need. We're going to need this guy to come on and impact games, or else when he starts, if he gets a chance out in the wide positions in the 10 or even up front, we're going to need him in those positions to clinically be in the right place at the right time and score us some goals. So the big man Cedric bumped himself up to a 7 for sure, because he's starting to come onto a game, and for strikers, confidence is so important, and hopefully now this is something that he finds. The next man needs no introduction. You know, his hands are absolutely massive, and so's his clean sheet record in the percentages. Big Jon McLaughlin. He's been absolutely incredible since he's came. Not had a lot to do, but see, when he's needed to, he's made the save. And sometimes being a Rangers goalie, being a top goalie, that's what you need. Might only be 1 or 2 chances you're facing in a game, but he's making the saves. Other than the Hibs game where he couldn't do anything really about that, he's been brilliant for Rangers, you know. Steven Gerrard's had the confidence to bring McGregor in and out the side. I think previously, if McGregor was struggling, he'd have still played. He's an international player, he's played at a good level, and he's doing a job for Rangers, and it's going to push the best out of Alan McGregor as well, for sure. And for that reason, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. He's part of a defence that broke records so far this season, so to give him any lower than that, I think would be an international war crime. So the big man is getting a 9 out of 10 for me. Another free transfer, and it's Leon Balogun from Wigan. Previously for me, we lacked pace in that centre-back position, and the big man's come in. He's in his 30s, but he's an international experienced player. He's played against some big players, and he's come in and his pace is just adding a new element. Steven Gerrard now knows when Rangers want to play a high line, they can leave the big man Balogun one-on-one with most strikers in the league, and he's going to run after them like a man possessed and get that football back into Rangers' possession. I've been really impressed with this guy, but potentially not played enough for me to warrant that 9 out of 10, but I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Now the final guy, the man that just signed last night, and it's Bongani Zungu. signed him from Amiens on loan. I think his contract runs out in the summer, so Rangers can sign him on a pre in January, and I think they will do that. I'm hoping that this guy comes in and he sets the world alight. Now, I will just give you my rating for this. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. We've not even seen the guy play so far, but if you look on YouTube, he's a baller. Everybody's a baller on YouTube, to be fair. I could be a baller on YouTube myself, but yeah, I think this guy's going to come in and he's going to add something to the Rangers midfield for sure. I don't think Steven Gerrard would have brought him in otherwise. Is he going to be a key part to the way that Rangers play? I don't know, because they've left it so late, but it is a guy that's been rumoured for a wee while, so he's obviously been on the radar. And this is where you've got to credit the Rangers board as well, because Steven Gerrard has publicly said numerous times, I've said to the board, we need another body in midfield, we need an engine room, we need this, we need that, and they've went out and delivered it. Zungu on loan, and let's hope he hits the ground running for Glasgow Rangers. So all in all, I'm going to score this transfer window from Rangers a 9 out of 10. Reason I'm giving it a 9 and maybe not an 8 or an 8.5 is because a lot of these players that I've given a 7 and an 8 have got the potential now to go on and be 9s and 10s. For sure, this has been an excellent window for Rangers. They've added squad depth, they've added quality, they've added competition. It's outstanding, I think, from Rangers, and I'm really happy from a Rangers fan's point of view. Now, of course, guys, if you could get involved in the comment section below, that would be greatly appreciated. Let's have some conversations. I'll be hanging about there for a wee while as well, talking to you guys. If you want to follow me on my other socials, that'll be in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I've been SharpDiv, you've been yourself. New podcast coming tomorrow with a wee surprise in it, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.